Russia is preparing for a new round of consultations with the United States on bilateral relations and considers them useful, but there are no deadlines yet, Russian Deputy Foreign Minister Sergei Ryabkov said in an interview with Sputnik. The Russia-US consultations regarding visa issues and operation of embassies were held in Istanbul last month. Commenting on their results, Ryabkov told Sputnik that the number of diplomatic mission staff was not discussed. In general, the situation in this area is quite confusing and has its own history, therefore, dialogue on these subjects is important in principle, the diplomat said. As for the next round of Russian-US consultations, their date and place have not been determined to date. In general, we consider them useful for comparing positions. There is no other way to find common ground in order to somehow break the deadlock. We are now engaged in routine preparatory work for the next meeting, Ryabkov said. Moscow hopes that the tactics of small steps will eventually lead to mutually acceptable solutions on the most important issues on the bilateral agenda, he added. Russian shelling of Ukraine's southern city of Kherson left at least 3 people dead on Sunday, President Volodymyr Zelensky said, while a strike on Kharkiv killed 1 person, according to the regional governor. Today, the Russian army has been shelling Kherson atrociously all day, Zelensky said in his evening address. 2 women, nurses, were wounded in the hospital. As of now, there are reports of 6 wounded and 3 dead. The front in southern Ukraine has been considerably quieter recently than in the east, with Moscow withdrawing from Kherson city in November last year. But the key city and regional capital is still subject to frequent shelling. In eastern Kharkiv, the second largest city in Ukraine, the governor of the regional military administration said a Russian strike hit a 4-story residential building. 3 victims received minor injuries. Unfortunately, an elderly woman died. The building was partially destroyed, Ola Senhubov said on Telegram. In the Zaporizhia region of southern Ukraine, where fighting intensified in recent days after several months of a stagnant front, Moscow-appointed officials said Kyiv struck a railway bridge, killing 4 people. Ukraine on Sunday carried out an attack from a HIMARS multiple rocket launcher on a railway bridge across the Malagnaya River, the Russian-installed head of the region, Yevgeny Balitsky, wrote on social media. 4 people from the railway's brigade were killed, 5 were injured, Balitsky added. The bridge is in a village north of the Russian-controlled city of Melitopol and was undergoing repairs, according to Balitsky. Russia claims to have annexed the Zaporizhia and Kherson regions along with 2 other Ukrainian regions in the east, but does not fully control these territories.